Hello, I'm David Shakun, founder of WisdomNet and of Wisdom Eating. This is a show on wisdom eating. So that begs a few questions. What is wisdom? Well, we know what eating is. At least we think we know what eating is. For the purposes of this discussion, eating is really, broadly speaking, every way we take in the world, allow it to come through us, and then to create something fresh. And not just compost. So, and wisdom eating is very practical. It is about our relationship with food, coming to a place of ease, flow in life, so that food is actually something pleasurable and life enhancing. Now, I'll start off the bat by saying I personally have a challenge in the area. I've had a long-standing challenge moving challenge with food myself. So I consider it to be a great arena for me to learn more about wisdom myself, teach it, demonstrate it, etc. So if you're watching this and you yourself are going through some challenges on any level, whether you just like to get healthier or it's something that looms really big and seems really overwhelming, let's both take a deep breath and relax. You're in the right place. So, first around wisdom. As you listen to this, I'd like to suggest you participate with me in that you relax your usual mind, come into the present, be here, perhaps move if you're in a place where you can move your body, like I am. For those of you who are not seeing the video, I'm just moving freely the way my body feels like it likes. So, because it's fun, feels good, and it's fun. And so let's start simple. Fun and feeling good. That's part of my definition of wisdom. Because wisdom, to me, is two things. It's a quality of recognition that there's something beyond the obvious. The obvious meaning what's in the moment in our experience. There's something beyond the thinking, the feeling. There's a kind of a space. You may notice it when you just happen to fall into kind of a simpler state. You happen to relax, taking a shower, perhaps while you're falling asleep at night. It's another place where the mind is relaxing. So, because wisdom is also a sense of what's next, sort of what's the next direction for the next moment, the next day, whatever the next means, or the next meal, the next thing to eat or not. So part of so my definition of wisdom is something that is there for us, always there, as we, in effect, get out of the way, meaning that we are open to something that feels right. It could be very simple. Wisdom can be as simple as, hey, it's time to go for a walk. It could be something that is profound for us, like, wow, I realized I actually could turn my hobby into a business, or, boy, I realized I just had the idea that life is about solving problems, and wow, there's so much more than that. Beyond solving problems, but beyond. So, it's really, my deep message is that there is something trustable in you, deeply trustable, which I'm calling wisdom. And it's a journey. It's a journey to learn what that is. The part of the journey is to start to listen and to start to move, take some little risks with it. So right now, I encourage you to once again come into your body and move. There's a whole theme behind all of my teachings around wisdom, which is you'll see, and it's about getting present, getting in touch with the body, with feelings, and playfulness, simplicity. These are qualities of wisdom in action. In the realm of food, one of the big blocks to wisdom is knowledge. Thinking we know what we should do, or thinking we need to figure out what we should do. There's realms of nutritional theories in the media. It's confusing, contradictory. A lot of what comes out around nutritional science is very fragmented. It's what's called nutritional science. It's a slice of one aspect of one particular nutrient or chemical, and we're a whole system that has many, many parts. Feelings are very powerful in affecting our whole digestive system, how we metabolize. Every food affects every other food. So how do we proceed with all this overload of information for most of us? It's to come into our own experience and to have a sense of what feels right for our bodies, and how are we using food? How are we using food? Because I'll speak for myself. I'm aware of a pattern of using food not, I say using. When I say using, that already signals something, that if I'm just living food, and eating and living life, that's just eating and living and kind of being my natural self. I'm using food for something else, like to calm myself down or to boost my energy, and some of that food naturally does. So it's true, food can give you energy. I think for much of us in the modern world, we're so disconnected from nature and our body is that food is the easy thing to grab. That's certainly true for me. I think in general, we live in an artificial environment where, compared to hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, and biologically, we are way closer to ancestral primates or ancestral humans than you might imagine. It's only a few percent shift in the DNA, fractions of a percent, when it comes to the digestive system. So, for these hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, millions even, food was not right there to grab. We were in a natural environment, a simpler environment. We were in touch with the cycles of nature, sleep, sun. So really, the issue with food is really a sign of an imbalance more generally. And so, hence, tuning into wisdom throughout life, it all works together. So, very concretely, I'll give you a couple of concrete takeaways, things you can work with. If you're tired, food is probably what you don't need. And I need to hear this myself. Food is what you don't need if you're tired. If you're tired, you likely either need to rest, essentially. That's what it comes down to. Rest, or perhaps, paradoxically, get moving. So, and that's the discernment. Maybe you need a nap, or maybe you need to go out walking, get some fresh air, some oxygen, because breathing is our first nourishment. Another tip, if you're feeling anxious, stressed, food often comes to mind to calm down. That's a case where something else is needed. Some slowing down of the mind, usually coming into the present, breathing, calling a friend. So these are simple, natural things. A lot we could say our grandmother, maybe our great-grandmother would have told us. And really, the way to wisdom is not intellectual. So it's not about my giving you tools. I mean, it's a little bit that, but more it's around finding your own way, your own heart. And for me, that means having fun in everything I do, including this. So, I have fun by moving, and just having the joy of communicating something that I'm passionate about. It really helps to have others to connect with. So for me, I love the fact that I'm connecting with you now. You're now part of my community. This is the idea behind WisdomNet, that we create a community of people who have a sense of that wisdom is available. It's something beyond the habitual thinking. It's beyond what we know. And that's what's needed when we have a problem that we find we're stuck in a lot, like eating challenges tend to be. We need something deeper. So the community can help. We can help each other. WisdomNet is a social network where you can find other people interested in living from wisdom, including people in areas of common interest. So there's folks who really want to focus on wisdom eating, and you can connect with them through WisdomNet by registering and listing that as an interest. And we do wisdom sessions, simple ways of listening to each other, sharing, listening, and cultivating a sense of what's wisdom and what's not. And I'll tell you what's not. What's not is the kind of thinking that you're doing when you're feeling stressed, hurried, overwhelmed, oppressed. Or like, angry. A lot of the stressful feelings were out of our wisdom. The other thing that wisdom is not, I'm talking simply here, I'm just going to simplistically maybe to make a point, because feeling that there's a blend, there can be wisdom, and even in the midst of there always is wisdom in the midst of stressful feelings. Still, it helps to get quieter. The other piece is, if you're trying to figure it out, trying real hard to figure stuff out, you're moving away from wisdom. So I encourage you to join WisdomNet, or if you're a member already, do wisdom sessions. The training's simple. You sign up on the contact form, and join me in this community and my journey as I share with you my challenges and what I learned along the way to wisdom eating. Once again, David Shakouan, looking forward to hear from you. Please contact me with any questions about wisdom eating or WisdomNet. Look forward to meet you in person or over the internet, Skype, etc.